VOE Formula V, and a tribute to Ben Pienaar, stalwart of Formula V's this weekend, with a massive field of 24 cars coming out to do a little bit of justice there to the man who lost his fight against COVID in the lockdown period. So we wish all his family and friends all the very best from the Extreme Festival and from our coverage as well. It's great to have both Denver Pienaar and Albertine Pienaar out there as part of today's proceedings, and we would have seen earlier on we did some nice tributes for Ben as well, as he got his honorary lifetime membership. Jaco Schricks and Lennel Janssen will make up the front row of the grid for this time out, and Gert van der Berg will have Marcel Blichnout and Theo Vermaak make up the fifth row of the grid. Then behind them will be Kyle Watt and Jean-Ro Leroux, Sim Grobler and Roy Douglas, Gianni Geise and Joseph Kotze. And then you've got David Austin and Blaine de Melon. Behind them, Peter Hills and Clinton Kane, Andre Leroux, Denver Pienaar, and the final row of the grid is Brandon Hills and Albertine Pienaar. So watch out for Brandon Hills coming through the pack as well from the back. He had a bit of a battle-scarred car in the first heat with nose cone going missing after we saw the 53 car of Roy Douglas end up in the kitty litter and the need for a safety car. Hopefully we don't need a safety car in the second heat. Looks like they're in 6th place. We've got a car missing, that's Short van der Linde. Yeah, the Eddie Irvine car. Tinkerbell is not there. And looks like they're in about 8th place as well, or 9th place. Also another car missing, Marcel Blichnout. Lights off and we're racing though. Down towards turn 1. Is it going to be Jaco Schricks who got the whole shot? Tries to hang on to the front end for a little while at least. Ooh, inside line there for Kotze. To just take evasive action as a couple of guys went on the high side. Late braking into turn 2, and everybody seems to have got through there relatively unscathed. No one off track at this point in time. Still some smoke coming out of Vaughan Hills' car. Look at Brandon Hills already making his way through there on Kyle Watt, having to take evasive action as they came out of turn 2, as Brandon Hills chops and changes, tries to get through as quickly as possible to the front end, having to start right at the back of the pack. Gets through and finds a way past on Roy Douglas, our spinner from race 1. It is Schricks ahead of Van der Berg as they get to the top of the hill. What has happened to Lennel Janssen? He's in 3rd. Lennel Janssen just battling to get off the line there, and then it's Lucian Ramchanda and MD Bester. Vaughan Hills, and then behind that looks like it's Henk van der Berg. So a good start there from the front pack of field, and then the mid pack also starting to sort things out. Brandon Hills has made his way up, possibly into about 10th place there overall. And that'll be 14 cars in the first lap. That's a pretty decent effort. 9 laps to go, and still lots of action in Formula V. We've seen it all race season long last year and this year, and even with the lockdown scenario, they still don't hold back in terms of the race action that these guys can provide. And they come out of turn 2. And Janssen in the Bull security car looking for a way to close in and get past on Gert van der Berg, race 1 winner. Jaco Schricks did mention the fact he was feeling a little bit rusty, but still able to run at the front end when he needs to. How long can he soak up that pressure from the 2 cars behind him? Sim Grobler's now got Brandon Hills on his tail. Gianni Geise fighting hard there as well now, with a few cars further back in the pack there. It looks like David Austin was fighting hard with him. Change up for the lead though. Gert van der Berg diving through. Gets ahead of Jaco Schricks. Schricks now assumes 2nd place, and a bit of work to be done now between the two of them. See if he can get back to the front end of the field. And you can see Lennel Janssen looking to pounce if he can. MD then sideways there. I think that might have been the number 10 car. Yes, it is. Albertine Pienaar just getting a little bit out of shape out of turn 2, but getting back on track very quickly. Ramchanda closes things down, trying to return the favour now on Henk van der Berg. Henk finding a way through there on Ramchanda, and Ramchanda realises that there are 2 very quick cars closing down on him. That's why he wants to get back ahead of Henk van der Berg and allow them to put the pressure onto him, not onto himself. So Henk now under pressure from Ramchanda and the 2 Hills boys. Brandon Hills seems to have a great turn of pace, and there's a problem there on Ramchanda's car. You don't pass Lucian Ramchanda that easily. Definitely a bit of an issue there for Ramchanda. As Brandon Hills finds a way past, and looks like Peter's going to go on the inside of turn 2. Yeah, so look, didn't quite make it stick though. MD Bester, Vaughan Hills, Henk van der Berg, Brandon Hills, Lucian Ramchanda, Peter Hills, as they come into turn 4. Roy Douglas this time staying on track. And just ahead of Carl Watt by the looks of things. So they're certainly hunting now in the front end there. Trying to get up as rapidly as possible. Change up there between Roy Douglas and Watt. Watt's got through. MD Bester just controlling things as well. Trying to maintain a bit of pace there to just stay in that 4th spot all by himself. A little bit of sunshine for the first time today as well as they went into turn 1. Relatively miserable day here in Zwartkops. So cool conditions. Cool to cold conditions, in fact, here at Zwartkops. Shrix using some very high and fast lines through turn 4. He has to, because Lennel Janssen seems to be up for it, and there you go. Janssen diving through in the bull security car up in a second, but Shrix tries to come straight back at him. Giving way to the 2 championship contenders there, Shrix and Van den Berg. Oh, Shrix and giving way to the 2 contenders in Lennel Janssen and Gert van den Berg. But remember, Jaco Shrix has taken multiple championships in his own right here in Formula V's in his career. Brandon Hill still keeping out Ramchanda. Peter Hills hasn't found a way through there on Lucian Ramchanda just yet, and he's going to have to be very wary because it looks like Henk van den Berg is up for the challenge again to go back and retake that position away from Peter Hills. Into the back straight yet again. There's MD. That's the gap he's got over Brandon Hills now. Lucian Ramchanda, Peter Hills, Henk van den Berg. Theo Vermaak under a bit of pressure as well from Sim Krobler in the background. Vaughan Hill seems to have a bit of an issue, and I think maybe that smoke has eventually caught him out. He's had a smoking car all the way through race number 1. Maybe something's given up the ghost there. Whoa! Straight on! That's Theo Vermaak. Very lucky the tyre barrier was there, but Theo Vermaak went straight on at turn 5. It's a pity that we've lost him there. He was looking pretty good. Lennel Janssen now in 2nd place, looking to try and close that gap down on Gert van den Berg. Has he got enough time to do it? Into the back straight away come the top 3. Jaco Shrix maybe looking to just spoil the day there for Lennel Janssen. Platty hanging on for the lead. So it's a bit of a fight on here between Shrix and Janssen. Janssen's trying to get away from Shrix so they can close that gap down, but having to go defensive on Shrix might be costing him a little bit of time in his ability to close things down on Gert van den Berg, who leads things out. Carl Watt now under a bit of pressure. That's Lucian Ramchanda. I said Ramchanda had a bit of a problem. He's dropped right back behind Carl Watt. So Ramchanda now down possibly into about 11th or 12th place. That's not ideal for the return of the man with the number 1 plate. Two to go by the looks of things. Ramchanda into pit lane on the last lap. Last lap now. So let's see if Shrix can put a bit of a spanner in the works here with some back markers to negotiate. So there's still 2 to go. Still 2.5 to go. Sorry, apologies on that one. It's a 10-lap race. coming to get 2 to go now. Cat goes around the outside, trying to find a way as easily as possible. Not to spoil anybody's race day and also not to spoil his own. Shrixie going to cut back. Try and squeeze out Andre de LaRue. He does so. LaRue just getting demoted down a couple of positions. And a lap as well by the 2 and 3 leaders in this race. Lendl Janssen closing in on Van der Berg. It's on now. He realizes that the race is now into the closing stages. With 2 to go. They've had a good tribute here to Ben Pienaar. And the race action has been as good as what we normally see in Formula V. 1-1-2 there. Unfortunately just getting in the way. Marcel Bluchnoot of Lendl Janssen. Yanni Geyser will lose out a little bit of position as well. He was right there with Bluchnoot. But with the leaders coming through, that little dice there between the two of them for 12th place has just been hindered slightly. Shrixie onto the back end of Lendl Janssen again, and looking to maybe pounce here into the last lap. It is last lap time coming up. The final time. Gert van der Berg goes defensive almost instantaneously. Look at that, blue flag waving, and it's going to be Gert van der Berg with Lendl Janssen on his outside. Janssen going to try and drive around the outside and comes up. He's going to have off spot. Brandon Hills once again from the back of the field to 5th again. And Peter Hills in 6th place this time, filling up. Some Krobler and Watt going at it across the line as well. Krobler will just win that one out. And Carl Watt will finish up in 10th place. What a turnaround there for him. Remember the last time Carl Watt was at Zwartkops, he ended up high flying on the right hand side of where he is right now and cut right across the circuit with some aerial material coming out of the DOE Formula V. Flags are out all the way through. Roy Douglas taking position there just ahead of Albertine Pienaar, and then it was Yanni Geyser coming through, just beating out the number 13 car there. So some great action as David Austin finishes up. There you have it. Van der Berg from Janssen and Shrix, your top 3. MD Bester with Brandon Hills and Peter Hills. Henk van der Berg, Jean-Dro Leroux ahead of Sim Krobler and Carl Watt, your top 10. Douglas Pienaar, Geyser, Austin and Josef Kotze making up the top 15 in the DOE Formula Vs. That's always nice to see after a great dice. Guys getting out of their cars and walking up with high fives all around. And of course, those are the top 2 competitors today. And they'll be taking overall honours as well between themselves there. Jaco Shrix making a welcome return. Great to have him back. I like that. Welcome back on the side of the car. He was certainly in the mix there, showing that he hasn't lost it too badly. Maybe a little bit rusty, but he probably did. I think that was all done with duct tape, hey? That's quite nice. If you can't fix a race car with duct tape and zip ties. So there you have it. Our Formula V's second heat of the day, all sorted out. We'll catch up with them in a few seconds' time. So down in the Park Vermeer area, we're going to catch up with Lendl Janssen after a great dice in race 2.
Lendl, there was quite a race there, and you managed to almost try to make a move there on Gert, but it didn't stick.
Yeah, I think maybe a lap or 2 more would have worked well, and also the back markers played a role over there. But yeah, it was a fun race between the top 3 guys. Very clean, very tight. Yeah, much respect. And yeah, well done to Gertjie.
Quite a different change from the last race you had, yeah, where you and Greg took each other out.
You bringing that up now? Yeah, no, it wasn't my best moment, but yeah, we move on.
Awesome, well done.
Thanks a lot, sir.